Would You Marry Me starts with Miss Yo Miri, a product advertisement designer, presenting a pitch at the 2025 Blue Crab Festival design in front of an all-male panel. One of the panel members makes an offensive joke, and the rest join in on embarrassing her. Miri plays dumb and asks the panel member to explain what he meant. An argument becomes a full-blown fight, and Miri does not back down. Miri removes her company, Meri Design Studio, from the bidding process. Miri calls her assistant and the only other employee at her studio, Shin Song-hee, and updates her about the incident. From their discussion, it is clear that the company is struggling, as Song-hee wonders how they will afford rent for the next month. Miri assures her she will figure it out and then stops by the mall to run errands. Miri is getting married as she stops by to pick up the wedding rings and finish up on honeymoon and hotel reservations. She texts her fiancé, Kim Woo-joo, who is tongue deep in another woman's mouth. When Miri texts asking about his whereabouts, he lies about the fact that he is still at work and continues making out with Jennie. Later, Miri is unboxing at their newlyweds' home while still on a call with her mother. It turns out that Miri took a loan from her to get the new place and takes care of everything. Miri steps on an earring that doesn't belong to her. Upon further inspection, she finds strands of hair on the pillow. After a quick deep dive through Woo-joo's social media, she finds the girl and quickly confronts Woo-joo. Woo-joo is indifferent to Miri's pain. He tries to brush off Jennie as a fling, saying he has already ended it. Just then, Jennie sends him a photo saying she is waiting for him. Miri tries to grab the phone, leading to a public breakup. Miri throws an iced coffee in his face before leaving the restaurant. Elsewhere, Kim Woo-joo, the grandson of a chaebol family owning the largest bakery in the country, Myeong-soon-dang, boards a flight from New York to Incheon. Another passenger requests that he give up his seat to sit beside his elderly mother, but Woo-joo turns him down. Later, we learn that Woo-joo overheard a conversation where the passenger was planning to force his elderly mother to sign over some land deeds on the plane before landing in Incheon. The elderly passenger thanks Woo-joo for not giving up his seat. Then, Woo-joo's grandmother calls, asking that he stop by for some home-cooked meals, but Woo-joo insists on going on a one-month vacation before heading home. It turns out that Miri and Woo-joo had already registered their marriage before the wedding, so their divorce was approved 1 month later. Miri takes it upon herself to file the decree later, as Woo-joo quickly runs off to join Jennie on a holiday. After crying her heart out at a batting field, wondering whether clean breakups are possible, she heads home and continues to live her life. However, more trouble knocks on Miri's door 1 month later when she is called to the police station following a rental con. It turns out that the house owner's mother helped pay millions in deposit as a newlywed since her home was out of the country. The realtor's assistant found someone to pretend to be the owner and signed a fake lease with Miri. Now she has 1 week to vacate the home or risk being sued for trespassing, and the only way to get her deposit is if she files a case. Miri is devastated, and she tries to call ex-fiancé Woo-joo for assistance. The ex-fiancé is enjoying his vacation with Jennie, so he dismisses her. Miri goes out for some drinks alone and gets a call from her mother. She tells her about sending some food to Woo-joo's family, which breaks her heart. Miri ends up becoming really drunk. Meanwhile, Woo-joo is driving around the same area, and his GPS redirects him into the same street that drunk Miri is staggering through on her way home. She frustratingly calls Woo-joo and ignores the street, so she accidentally runs into Woo-joo's car. Woo-joo gets out of the car to check up on her, and she insists that she does not want to see a doctor. Woo-joo insists on giving her his phone number so she can reach out later if she needs his help. Seeing his name resembles her ex-fiancé's, Miri mistakes Woo-joo for Woo-joo and starts hitting him. The debacle ends in an embarrassing mess when Miri mistakes a cactus for a stool. Miri ends up at the hospital, where Woojo's friend, Dr. Yu Jinjayong, who totally has a crush on Woojo, removes cactus needles from Miri's ass. While Woojo is chatting casually with Jinjayong along the hospital corridors, he sees Miri limping away from the hospital, so he runs after her and drives her home. Elsewhere, a luxury building company, Butte Department Store, holds a lottery for a home giveaway to newlyweds. The draw is rigged, as the CEO, Lee Suk-woo, wants to use the house as a gift to the mayor to push for the approval of a new building complex. Suk-woo's assistant and Butte's managing director, Baek Sang-hyun, has everything arranged, and all Suk-woo has to do is pretend that he is picking the card from the many applicants. Before heading out to the drawing for the grand prize, Suk-woo folds the ballot and hides it in his coat so he can know which one to draw. However, the ballot slips and falls into the ballot, and luckily for Miri, she had done the same fold on her ballot. Miri gets the call from Mr. Kwon informing her of the win. However, to qualify, she must provide some documents, including proof of marriage. Miri didn't file the divorce documents, so when she checks online, it shows that she is still legally married to Woojo. She downloads the marriage certificate and sends it to Butte. While Mr. Kwon is excited to give the lucky winner the house, Sang-hyun and Suk-woo are trying to figure out how to cancel the award. Sang-hyun learns that Miri's husband will not attend the award ceremony since he is abroad, so the first condition they add is that both husband and wife must be available for the award ceremony and agree to participate in publicity. Miri does not want to give up the house, so she tries calling Woojo, but he blocks her calls. Just as she is about to give up, she gets a text from Woojo asking if she went to the hospital to get her hand checked, and a wild idea comes to mind. At the end of the episode, Miri meets up with Woojo and asks if he could be her husband.